Welcome back to the Off the Tools podcast with your hosts Jimmy Hong and Joshua Grudenborg. Today we'll be diving into the biggest mistakes that we think painters are making. Jimmy, what's the worst one? The worst one that comes to mind. What do you think? I know it might be hard to narrow down, but
Yeah, right. I wonder which one he's gonna pick. Honestly, I think the biggest one is just relying on referrals.
mm-hmm.
Like, it's got to be the biggest. There's just so many ways to generate work nowadays, and I I don't care if you're a guy that's been in business for 40 years, a guy that's been in business for a couple months, but it's like if you're only trying to rely on word of mouth of what, just like some friends, some people that you've done work for, it's just not going to cut it, right? It's like having one fishing pole in the pond. Now, if you've been in business for like 40 years, a little different because you kind of have like a book of leads from just 40 years of business. But I just don't think it's just enough to continue scaling appropriately. It's just not predictable, right? So I think that's probably the number one for sure.
That's got to be definitely up there at a very minimum for sure. I mean, you're looking yourself in the mirror and just limiting your whole company from the very start if you're just deciding that you're just going to essentially rely on luck to see if this is
Hmm.
even going to be feasible. I'd say, ooh, this one might even be just as bad. Maybe not as bad, but as close. Showing up late.
Ooh,
Showing up
that
late
is a
is
tough one.
like,
Yeah.
whether it's the job, the estimate, whatever, ouch. Like that is a tough one. And don't get me wrong, guys, like we've all been late to estimates for a job site, whatever. But it's one thing if you're A, consistently late, and B,
Hmm.
not letting them know that you're even gonna be late. Say you spilled coffee all over your pants in the morning, you're already, cutting it really close, getting to the job site, you gotta go change, you're now gonna be 5 minutes behind. That little text, hey, Mr. and Mrs. Smith, I'm gonna be 5 minutes late. Just spilled coffee all over myself. My apologies. I'll be there. And even the one that I would do that's actually a strategic bonus is if I was late, even by 2 minutes,
Hmm.
I would let them know. I've even done up to like 1 minute. I am going to be 1 minute late. I am so sorry. And by apologizing for being 1 minute late, what type of person am I to them? I'm someone that's on time. I'm gonna do what I say I'm gonna do. I feel bad that I'm late 1 minute. What type of person is that? So it's actually a strategic play as well.
100%. Yeah, we just to give everyone context, we had the same mentor. So shout out Luke Venn.
Let's
He
go.
definitely instilled that into us because like same thing. I remember learning that like in the business. It's like instead of trying to drive as fast as you can to get to that estimate on time and just making sure they just know, right? Like ahead of time. It's like, hey, we're gonna be even like 1 or 2 minutes early. It's like just let them know. Just let them know just in case. Best case, you get there early and it didn't matter. Worst case, they still have the reminder and like you're in communication, right? Just that if you do need a couple minutes. And honestly, when I first started out, I remember like, oh, it's traffic, it's this, it's the coffee, like, oh, the last estimate was kind of a talker, and I let it happen, and it's like, man, the shift between that and then just taking like ownership and accountability that it was 100% my fault also just changed the game. Because it was like, I could have also left, 20 minutes early, could have been there 20 minutes early before the estimate, right? There's no rule that says I can't do that and just either, kind of do some work or, even ask them if they're able to do the estimate a bit earlier or, just getting up earlier, letting them know all these different things. And I realized like in the beginning of my business, it was like just something that just kept on reoccurring.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like, if I don't do anything different, I'm just going to be in this cycle of chaos forever. And I just did not want that to happen because, well, my sanity And B, it was just like, how can I grow off chaos? So I think the mindset is super important too, to just take accountability for everything. Oh, like the train, like just randomly happened to come by this time and it never does. Doesn't matter, right? Still, I could have left, 30 minutes earlier. So I think that's a big one, like being late and just being in communication, 100%.
Yeah, I think it goes back to like that whole thing of nothing shows you like the weak spots of your personality, like entrepreneurship. Right? Like if you
Hmm.
happen to be a late person, go try and start a tech startup. It's like, wait, are you kidding me? Like the very basis of timekeeping you haven't figured out yet, but you want to change the game in tech. It's like, no. Starting anything as an entrepreneur is going to reveal like the absolute worst parts of you at all times,
Hmm.
and this is a good thing. I'm trying to think what else comes to mind when we're talking about just things that painters should not be doing. Oh man, I mean, the stupid ones are like coming to mind. It's like, I don't need a drop sheet this time. Like that's like the
Oh,
really stupid one. Um, or or I think like the real basis of like what if we're talking about like a painter specifically, not maybe like even the business owner, it's like if you can't step back from the project and be like, I want to live here within these walls, you need to fucking do a better job. Pardon my French. You need to do a better job. You need to do a better job because it's like if you don't want to live there because you don't like the project, then it's like, well, then why should somebody else? Like Jimmy, how many times did you go with your painters and like maybe there was a challenge, and sometimes there's challenges, in these
hmm.
projects, and you go, hey, look over there. Like, what do you see? They're like, oh, yeah. It's like, I know you're not seeing this for the first time. I know you've seen this.
Hmm.
You have eyes. I have eyes. We both have got eyes. What's going on?
100%. It's so funny you bring that up. I just had a coaching call with one of our clients, and this was one of those things where, first of all, it just happens all like, especially at the beginning, your newer crews, like 100%, right? It's like we went through it so many times, and the best way, honestly, was just making sure they understood, and they knew, like, yes, that's something in their realm that they don't know. So instead of basically the way I did it was instead of being, hey, that's wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong, I would have them rate it and see
Mm,
like kind of where their understanding is. Because nobody wants to be wrong, especially in front of a client too. It's like you
ugh.
feel like crap, you feel bad, like don't want to be a boss, want to be a leader. So it's like, okay, how would you like they painted a wall, for example. They prepped it everything. Okay, how would you rate the prep? And if any time they give an answer that was not a 10, then we would dig into it, right? It's like, oh, okay, cool. Like probably like an 8, they would tell me. It's like, cool, okay. What's missing for it to be a 10? Or why isn't it a 10? And they would just they would look at it and they'd give you all the reasons why. And now it's stuck in their head because they're the ones that explained it. I didn't give them the answer. And sometimes they would even find out more things that I didn't even think of. Right. So that's what it looked like for them to like learn and really make sure that it would never happen again. But yeah, like happens all the time, like just making sure they know because it just would come up a lot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it comes back to just like asking questions, so we're developing like the critical reasoning
Hmm.
skills of our employees rather than telling people what's up. Again, people listens to reasons, not instructions or something like that. That works too. Oh, here's the one that I wanted that came to mind: sketchy ladder placements. Stop,
Mm.
please. PSA to all painters: stop the sketchy ladder placements. Spend the extra $300 on the boom lift. Just do it. You
Hmm.
end up saving money, guys. You end up saving money because you end up doing it quicker because you have to go down to the ladder to move the ladder 6 feet. And then when your brush is just out of reach, you're not reaching off of the ladder, just begging for a fall or an absolute catastrophe. Just rent the boom lift. It's fine. Even if it costs you $50 more in terms of saved labor time, it's so worth it. It's your life or your painters' lives.
Seriously, like, oh man, like I think back, like anytime there was, we were taught like all the things to make sure ladders are proper, right? Like you're testing it, you're jumping on at the bottom and just making sure it's the right ratio and all this stuff. And luckily, we had some awesome safety training. Dude, there was times like I remember my early years where we were on a house. I was probably 20 feet in the air. I got stung by a wasp.
Ouch.
It just flew into my shirt, stung me, and I remember I was like, "Oh my god!" Somehow my brain was just going to like zoom in, but I was like, "I cannot
Freak out,
move
yeah.
and freak out because I am 20 feet in the air."
Yeah.
Luckily, the ladder was just solid. Now, mind you, if it was like a sketchy ladder placement, or if it wasn't level or wasn't the right ratio, of course I wasn't like, "Hey, this is fine." No, it was like I was still moving a little
Yeah.
bit. But it's like those little movements. If the ladder placement was sketchy, that would have been game over. I take it all the way back to that safety and like how important that was, like right from the beginning. I'm really grateful for that because that would not have played out. I promise.
Yes, it goes for everything. Like even we made the mistake of like spraying without a respirator, like indoors, close
Hmm.
environments. Like again, these things aren't going to get you the first or second time that you do them. Don't get me wrong. It's like, but if you want this company for years to time, it's like, what's the process that's going to be still working 20 years into the future, right? And it goes for like
one
a
Hundred
lot of
percent.
these things. I mean, even just like proper training on every employee on everything within the business. Like people don't know how dangerous pressure washers are. Like those things can kill you, over oxygenate your blood, like or cut off your finger. You know,
It's not worth it.
it's so especially if I mean, guys, you got to keep in mind like everyone's seen the videos. I watched a video the other day where the guy had a gun and he was at the firing range and he was testing it on his hand to see if it works. Shot his hand. It's like, okay, if people can do this with a weapon, imagine what they can do with your pressure washer, your sander, even your sprayers. Those things, you screw them up. Those things have a tremendous amount of pressure in them
Hmm.
as well, right? So if you got a clog and you're just trying to uh, prime it constantly or whatever, you literally explode the machine or something like that. So safety. I mean,
Yeah,
please, guys,
safety first.
safety first. And again, you can totally get away with all of these things, like so many
Hmm.
times, but your luck runs out. You gotta stop. And again, it's like, what's gonna work 20 years into the future? What will keep working 20 years in the future? That's what we gotta be focused on in terms of business system development.
And especially if you as the owner doesn't care,
Sure.
good luck with your guys. Good luck with your guys. They're not going to care at all. Like they see, oh, it's okay, like to not do this, then you practice what you preach, right? So if you don't preach it, then they aren't going to put mind to it either.
Mm-hmm. Another one that comes to mind: stop wearing nice clothes to the job site. That's like, especially like guys, if you're trying to live into the whole business owner now, what I'm saying is actually the other way. Start wearing nice clothes to the job site because now you can't paint even if you want to. You're going to ruin that nice Ralph Lauren
Hmm.
shirt, right? But it's like you're still on the tools, which ideally we want to get you off there sooner than later. Then you know, you need to not wear the nice clothes to the job site because you think that just this one time it'll be fine. It's like, no, everyone
Nope.
learns that at some point.
Yeah, it ties into like even the prep. It's like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, did you use enough like plastic wrap for like the bed or mattress? It doesn't go all the way. It's like, well, better safe than sorry because we all know the horror stories.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it doesn't take much to just, you're like, oh, it's fine. We're not going to hit it. And then all of a sudden, one random bump. It's like, it's just not worth it. Like, just make sure everything's done properly and use the right like materials to do it. Otherwise, you're just chancing it on luck, and that's just ego talking, right? You're willing to take that risk for your clients, and it's like it's not worth it, right? So that's never works out.
Not proud of this one, but two years ago, I think when I was running my painting company, we were doing a full interior, white everywhere, white on the trim, white on the ceiling, white on the walls. They just wanted white in like an accent wall somewhere, and they actually did a good job at covering up like all the furniture and stuff like that. We were spraying the whole interior, but they had a turtle, and they didn't cover the turtle like sanctuary or whatever. So they got like a little bit of white mist on the turtle, and I'm like, guys, like this is, and like I laugh about it because I'm in pain here. This hurts me to say,
Mm-hmm.
um, but it's like there's very serious like implications. We had to find a way to make that right when we were doing that, but it's not just these people's furniture, but it's their pets too. It's their kids, right? And you know, don't get me wrong, not everybody is a turtle SOP, but this is a way of once you encounter something once, it's like that should be solved forever if it was a problem.
Mm-hmm. 100%. Oh, another one that comes to mind, underpricing just due to fear or trying to book the job.
Mm.
I think that's a huge one because we hear it all the time. It's like, oh, I'm just gonna, negotiate my price, and you kind of just price it based off the emotion because you need the job or you want it, or else like you just don't have more work and you start cutting it. But then it's like if you quote it properly, you gave enough time to do really good prep, do really good coats, make sure that you have like margins for you as well to make sure you do a great job. It's just a race to the bottom,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like for example, we were painting a church auditorium once, and this was in my second year of business, so I learned because there'd be times in my first year where I'd be like, oh, this thing won't take that long, or this it's just removing a vent and all that, it's fine, like or the outlet covers, nah, that's fine. It'll take like 2 seconds. Meanwhile, there's probably like 50 of them around the house, so math adds up. But the one I always think of is like because it happened once in my first year, I didn't have to soak it or get destroyed by my quote in my second year with this church. This church was probably I think it was like a 12K job, and essentially we were painting everything in the auditorium, on the walls, trim, the ceilings, and because it was an auditorium, the ceiling had these little cages around the little fire. I think it was like the fire water sprouts, and went right back to the training. It was like, make sure you have enough time to do proper prep, all these things, because we can't paint that until we take the guards off, right? Had I just was like, oh, it's fine, it'll just take 2 seconds, you're already up there. Each one I think took somewhere around 5 to 10 minutes, just because some screws were stripped, they've never been taken off before, and you do the math. It's like let's say, what is that, like if we do call it like even like 5 minutes, and then there was probably like somewhere around like 50 to 100, right? So let's call it 75. That could have been like hours. It was like 6 hours of just taking it off.
Mm-hmm.
And that would have been right into our labor, right? So I'm really glad that we were able to, put that in and make sure that we just gave a few minutes each one, right? Now you're making sure it's still labor stuff. You're not just giving it out for free. You're still charging what you're worth, and then it didn't affect the profit. It didn't affect your painters getting paid. Everything was fine. I'd rather that than trying to just book the job and then at the end of it, after paying your guys, materials, everything, and then just not having any money after, especially on a big like 12K job. What was the point?
Mm-hmm. So much time wasted.
So much time wasted, and then no money from it either. It's like that's the worst case scenario. So it's just not worth it. Always, I would just tell everybody to just, hey, like whatever it'll take. If there's a weird bush or a weird angle, add some time because it's going to take a little more time. Just because it's kind of a weird one-off, and it's just better to not book the job, especially if you quoted it properly, and versus like booking a job and then just making no money off of it. It's like, what was the point?
Mm-hmm. The other one that comes to mind is stop going to estimates that you know you're not going to close. It's like, for
Worst
what?
feeling.
For what? If you're calling them and they're saying, hey, like, we don't want to do this right now, we just want a price, or you've given price expectations, and they go, that's probably not going to work,
Hmm.
or, maybe they're telling you up front, by the way, I'm a perfectionist, and you know that you're not even going to really even want to do this job. And you can fill in the blank with whatever that is for you, but these are all reasons why you shouldn't be going to this estimate. You should just be doing other revenue generating activities.
That is a great one. Oh man, like nothing worse than that feeling. Like just you're going there and the best way to feel is like, hey, you did the proper qualifying call. You got them pumped. You know the reason why. The budget's there. Pre-close. You handle any objections, and it feels like you're going there to just pick up a deposit
Mm-hmm.
because you know you're gonna wow them at the estimate. The worst feeling is like you're like, oh, I'm just gonna go anyways because I got nothing else to do. Meanwhile, there's tons of other revenue generating activities
Yeah.
you can be doing. And they're like, hey, no, my partner will not be there. And you don't reschedule it. Good luck. It's like there's no follow up with it. And you know they're going to have to talk to their spouse. And now it becomes a follow up. It's probably going to get ghosted for a while and waste of time.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. No, other one, stop giving unrealistic timeline suggestions to your clients at the estimate. I did that my first year all the time. Like, I'm probably going to get you in June. August has come. It's like we're gonna get them in the last week of August, because it's like you have no idea like what even running production is like. So it's like if you're at the estimate, it's way better to give them huge ranges. Huge, hey,
Hmm.
I got some projects before you here. We're going to get you somewhere in between the months of June to July, somewhere in there. I'm going to give you a call a week before we're looking to start. Obviously, rain, God forbid, but that's kind of our general timeline there. Does that sound fair? Nobody ever disagrees with the timeline, ever.
Nobody.
So you get to set the terms. Stop trying to give them an August 23rd, 3 months out. It's like, dude, you're not doing that, I promise.
It's not going to
It's
work.
not going to work.
And it's like every single person has that you explain it in a way that it's always for them has always been reasonable.
Totally.
It's like, hey, it's probably going to take like a week, week and a half. Now I say that because I can't predict the weather or I can't like control the weather. There's like different other things come up, and we want to make sure we do it right. I'm sure you'd want us to do it right than to be painting in the rain with an umbrella, right? And they're like, yeah, 100%. How could you argue with that? It's like, no, I want you here like while it's raining. It's like, no, it's gonna look like crap. Like it's gonna be dripping everything, right? So making it all for them and showing them how it's reasonable for that timeline because things can come up for it. Could even be too hot to paint.
Mm-hmm.
It might mess with the durability of the exterior paint. It's like all these things taken consideration, and it's like just let them know. It's like, hey, if I wish I could control the weather,
Hmm.
right? I wish I could just give you 7 days of just sunlight so we can just tackle this in the perfect conditions, in the perfect temperature, everything. Trust me, everything would run smoother for my business too if I could do that. I can't do that, unfortunately. So I want to do this right. Here's roughly the timeline just to give you proper expectations so you're not just wondering, oh, like, how long is it going to take? Why aren't you done yet? All these different things.
100%. Um, I hope you guys enjoyed all of our do's and don'ts today of doing projects. It's certainly taken me back a lot in terms
Yep.
of, just mistakes that I've made and just like kind of how we fix them along the way. If you guys want to see what it might be look like to work with a couple of legends like Jimmy and I, there'll be some links below the video, and we can have a discussion to see if we're in the right place to do that. Other than that, thank you everybody again for listening. We appreciate every single one of you guys. Leave some comments down below on how much you hate us, of course, as always. And we'll see you guys in the next.
Thanks, guys. Cheers.